Hey everybody, it's Jim from Cigars. Today I am reviewing the Arturo Fuente Reserva Don Carlos. And I usually don't do guests in my video, but I have a guest appearance today. It is Little Carlos, otherwise known as Carlito Fuente. Hi, say hi to everybody, Little Carlos. There you go. We are going to ask Carlos what he thinks of some of the things I have to say about the cigar. One thing I have to say about the cigar is it is billed as a Robusto size, and man, Arturo Fuente took some liberties with the size of this. I measured it, it's about 4 3/4, and the gauge is a little under 50. The minimum size for a Robusto is 5 by 50. And some of the cigar makers do play with that length a little bit on all their cigars. This one kind of pushes the limits on that one. I have a picture with a couple of other Robustos from my collection, and there's not that big of a difference, but it's really pretty noticeable between the Monte Cristo and this one that are both billed as Robustos. Okay, enough complaining. Carlos, are you happy with that description? Not really. Okay, we'll touch base with him later. Okay, I'm going to cut this with a V cutter because I really have to. Otherwise, there's not going to be much left of it. So we get a nice V cut there. A little bit more about the cigar, though. I've smoked a few of these, not that many. I don't give Arturo Fuente as much attention, frankly, as they deserve. They're good cigars, and I don't review them very often. I kind of came around to this one because I had a memorable one. I don't know if this ever happens to you, but do you ever have situations where you remember very distinctly, even though it's years ago, this exact cigar you were smoking, the place you were smoking it, and so forth? I was actually on my way out of Santa Fe. I was there for business meetings and stopped at a little cigar lounge there. And I remember smoking an Arturo Fuente Reserva Don Carlos. And I remember liking it. If you have situations like that, put it in the comments, because I think I get a real kick out of that stuff about how important cigars can be to our everyday life and how sometimes it really triggers a very pleasant memory that we had. This cigar has been very, very well reviewed. It was actually the Cigar Aficionado Cigar of the Year in 2017. The wrapper on this is a Cameroon, and a little bit about Arturo Fuente is they're based in the Dominican Republic and they make all their cigars there. Almost all Arturo Fuente cigars have wrapper tobacco from other countries, and this is no exception. This is from Cameroon. And the reason for that is Dominican Republic is generally not recognized for one reason or another as a good place to grow a wrapper tobacco. The big exception to that actually is the Arturo Fuente Opus X. All their Opus X wrappers actually come from the Dominican Republic, but that's the only exception to that rule. Binder and filler is all from the Dominican Republic. I'm looking forward to smoking this and seeing if it brings back those good memories to me. What do you say, Carlos? Should we light her up? Carlos says yes. Okay, see you in a minute. I'm back and I'm getting to the end of this Arturo Fuente Reserva Don Carlos. And man, so far it's been really, really good. We'll talk more about that. I forgot to mention earlier, back in the mid-2010s, Carlito Fuente decided to come up with a blend to honor his father, Carlos Fuente, who played such a big role in the development of the Arturo Fuente line. And they ended up with a special blend of tobacco, as I mentioned, grown on their farms in the Dominican Republic. But the Dominican tobacco is aged a minimum of 10 years. So this is a well-aged cigar. And it really shows. It's very smooth and tastes really good. I'm going to be bold here and say this is probably the best burning cigar that I've smoked in a year at least. And I took some pictures of it. The burn was razor sharp all the way down. Draws a little tighter than I like, but by a minuscule amount. But in terms of construction, man, this cigar impressed me to no end. Taste-wise, it really presents some cedar taste, almost a sweet cedar taste. Maybe that's the Cameroon wrapper, with some almonds and cashew flavors thrown in as well. And just a little bit of spice. Not very much, but enough to make it interesting. Very good flavor profile. One thing I was thinking as I was smoking this, I thought, I get the question a lot I have a group of guys coming over, or I have to buy cigars for a wedding party, or I have to buy cigars for a bachelor party, or something like that. And if you're looking for a cigar for an occasion like that, I tell you, this would be a really good choice. Even the Robusto size, because it's very approachable, half hour, 45-minute smoke. So it's perfect to appeal to a wide audience. It's not too spicy, not too mellow, and the taste profile, as I said, is really good. Cost-wise, it won't break the bank like a Padron or Opus X or something like that. It is the moment of truth, Carlito. And he says, okay, sounds pretty good so far. For body, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. It's got a little spice to it, but it's very, very pleasant. It certainly is not offensive in its boldness, and it's not too mild either. So perfect in that regard. Smoking experience, I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10. This is really a good cigar. I'm going to be buying some more of these, and I think they're a really good cigar for a wide variety of people. If you're a new smoker, I'd give this a try. If you're an experienced smoker, it's got the goods to keep you interested. I am going all in, and Carlito says this is fantastic. I'm all in on the Reserva Don Carlos. I'll see you next time from Cigars, Cigars, Cigars.